Alright, this is kind of a neat little video. Kind of got bitten by the Game Gear bug, and so this is my Game Gear, and it has the McWill screen in it. Ooh, see if I can adjust this brightness here. Wow, it's so bright it really kind of makes it hard for my camera to focus on it. Golly, look at that. I have to dial the brightness way down just to get a good image. So it's pretty bright, pretty crisp. Anyway, this is the McWill LCD upgrade. And so the McWill upgrade also comes with a VGA out port, which I mounted on mine. And then I've got this little box here I bought off eBay for like $10. It's ridiculously cheap. And that's just a VGA to HDMI adapter. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the audio for that thing into my Game Gear, which goes to the HDMI connector. And then the McWill has a feature where if you turn your contrast button all the way down, it turns off the screen and then sends the video to the video out port, which is here. And so with the little $10 HDMI adapter I got off eBay, now this is a 23-inch monitor, I think. Yeah, 23.1. So the monitor scales the size, which I really thought it would be very grainy and blocky, but it looks pretty damn good. I'm really impressed with the little $10 VGA to HDMI conversion. You can hear the sound is coming through the TV as well. It's actually not even a TV, it's just a monitor. And then, oops, man, my static is killing this thing. And this other port right here is the Genesis controller conversion. So this is a what some people refer to as a console-ized Game Gear. You've got the ports, you've got the controller, and so this might be kind of hard to do holding the camera, but so push start, and then my buttons, this A and C are the same, and B is unique. So you got B, and then the Game Gear only has 2 buttons in start, and so I doubled up A and C, depending which way you wanted to, if you wanted this to be 1 and 2, or this could be 1 and 2. So it's kind of whatever your flavor is, that's how it is. And so and I just can't hit the left and right because I only have 2 hands, but this is the Coca-Cola Kid translated into English, and so that's the game. And so the Game Gear controller, if it's a little different than what you think. I mean, I had to modify the controller to be, let's call it Game Gear compatible, and because how the Genesis controller works is the buttons are multiplexed, and that start and I think C are are multiplexed in with a little 157 chip inside the controller. And so, because the Game Gear doesn't multiplex its signals, at least not to my knowledge, you know, we were going to lose some functionality, start and button B or C, I can't remember now, but it wasn't going to be fully compatible, you know, as is. And so I have a little how-to document that I made on how to get a regular Game Gear to work on the Game Gear. Excuse me, how to get a Genesis controller to work on a Game Gear without having any kind of electronic mod. You know, no chips that activates the multiplexing and stuff like that. And so, and coincidentally, the converted controller works really well with the Sega Master System now as well. And the Master System, as is, works on the controller port the way I have it wired, as is as well. You just don't have a start button with the Master System controller. But I mean, look at this picture. It's really crisp, and you can kind of see some kind of diagonal interference, or I'm not sure what you call that, moire maybe, but it's very faint. It is there, but some sort of interference maybe, but it's really not bad. I mean, if you have a moving screen, you're not going to notice it, or it's certainly within tolerable limits. So, anyways, this is just kind of a, you know, hey, look at this, it's pretty damn cool. So, anyways, on my McWill, I added the McWill screen to the Game Gear. I showed that to you earlier. So I've got the VGA port, which goes into this VGA box to HDMI, and of course my modded. And it was really simple. There's only 2 wires I had to change inside the controller. I have a write-up on it, and I'll post it later. But you literally open up the controller, you change 2, you know, add 1 jumper and move 1 wire from one place to the next place, and that was it. That's all the modding you have to do. And then on the inside of the Game Gear, you had to, of course, bring a wire from, you know, up, down, left, right, you know, 1, 2, start, you know, and wire it on the connector and the port. But so it's, you know, it involves a little bit of work, but the controllers are pretty painless, really. It's just more tedious of wiring. And anyways, I'm hoping to get a Bluetooth device where you can use one of these wireless Bluetooth Genesis controllers that are coming out, so you don't have to have this you know, port, you know, plugged in. But anyways, I'm pretty impressed with the picture. It's, as I've said, it's I really thought it would be worse quality than it is. And so, well, that's it. I'll just mention one other thing real quick, and I'll just mention that we, on all our, you know, when we do a cap kit, excuse the mess here, we do all surface mount caps. So let's see if I can zoom in on these. So instead of the electrolytic caps, we do all surface mount, like those little brown rectangles, you know, here and here and so on. And so even on the soundboard, we use the ceramic non-polarized, you know, surface mount caps. They'll last longer, they take the heat longer, they don't leak like the electrolytics, you know. So in my opinion, it's the only way to go. And so anyways, unfortunately the power supply, you have to use electrolytics here. they're just too big of a value to find it in surface mount. But all these others that are, you know, low voltage, you know, we change over. So, and we clean up any leaked, you know, acid from the old leaky capacitors. And so anyway, so when we go through a Game Gear and refurbish it, you know, we really go the extra mile. So anyways, well, that's it. We've got several Game Gears to post online. I've got a Magic Night Ray Earth. That one also has a McWill LCD in it. And we've got a blue one in here with new glass, and it looks really clean. And we cap kit all of our Game Gears with surface mount stuff. It's really the only way to go. Anyways, we believe in doing it the right way, and that is the right way for sure. I've had some bought some Game Gears off of people on eBay who have claimed that they have recapped, you know, put a cap kit in it, and it was the ugliest, nastiest job I've ever seen. And anyways, we take pictures after we do a build. After we finish up a console, we'll take a photograph of it and the serial number, and so if anybody wants to see what they're actually getting on the inside, then we can send them the high resolution photo, and they can go over it with a fine-tooth comb and inspect, you know, the work we do. We don't hide anything when we do a refurb job. And so anyways, well, that's it. Oh yeah, I have one more thing. So and again, you'll have to excuse the wrapping, but we picked this up recently. It's the Game Gear Kids console, which is kind of cool. So a lot of the things that are unique about this. The whole top plastic case is definitely different. You know, it's not interchangeable, and so that, and last thing, at some point in the near future, we're going to have a Game Gear flash cart where we can program, you know, Game Gear carts and make your own. But that's in the distant future here. We just have a few prototypes laying around. Well, that about it does it for the Game Gears. We certainly, anyways, I'm really impressed with how good the $10, you know, eBay LCD or HDMI converter is. It's a 23-inch screen, and it doesn't, you know, doesn't look, you know, horrible at all. It looks pretty good. All right, well, anyways, this is our Game Gear that we just take to shows, game shows, and that's why the sticker's there. But yeah, I'm gonna have to buy some more of these little HDMI converter boxes. So, all right, well, hope you enjoyed it.